Welcome to Biff's Mystery Theater. I have many tales to tell you. Ghost stories, murder stories, and tales that will make your bones chill. Join me, won't you? For Theater of the Mind, where you always have the best seat in the house. Now close your eyes and turn off the lights.
Let's go back tonight to another time, the time of King George III of England. But our story tonight is not of monarchy. It's the story of an ordinary man by the name of Samuel Jones, who had the extraordinary profession of state executioner.
Tonight's Lights Out presents another psychological drama, a play in which the principal part is taken not by the character himself, but by his thoughts. The voice you are about to hear is that of the thoughts of one Samuel Jones, the state executioner for His Majesty George III. He sits alone in a dismal room, and these are his thoughts.
I want to be dead. Do you feel anything when you're dead? Are you hungry? Are you cold? Are you tired when you're dead? No. When I'm dead, I have peace. I've got to have peace. Kill myself. Yes. Bullet in my heart. The pain. I don't like pain, but it can't hurt. They say it doesn't hurt, only hanging hurts. I know it does. I've seen their faces when they cut them down, purple, black. I've seen their faces when the masks came off and there's pain in them, pain that twists their faces, grinds their teeth, and gives them living hell until at last they die. That's why I've got to use this pistol to kill myself. I can't stand pain. All I want is peace. Peace. It's getting late. I've got to do it quick before they get here. I ran much faster than they did, but they'll get here quick enough. I've got to be dead when they come in through that door. They can't bother the dead in their grave. I'll be dead, deep in the grave. Why should they blame me? I only did my duty. Someone's got to be the hangman. That's what he said to me that night. That's what his lordship said to me 20 years ago it was. He said,
Samuel Jones, eh?
Yes, your worship.
What makes you think you can do this work?
Oh, I just know, your worship. I know all about hanging, sir. Everything there is to know.
Well.
Hemp rope's best, sir, hemp rope, but each rope's got to be fresh and new for every job, and you've got to keep it soap-stoned and always in a cool, dry place.
Well, you do know something about it.
Oh, yes, sir. Then there's the short drop and the long drop. The long drop's better, sir. I know it is.
Eh?
It breaks their neck, sir. Every time it breaks their neck.
All right. I'll give you your chance. We're having a hanging here tomorrow. I'll let you do it. If all goes well, I'll recommend you to the prison board. If all goes well.
All did go well. Why not? And there I was, executioner for His Majesty. 5 guineas a broken neck. 777 hangings in 20 years. 777 broken necks, and mine the hand that sprung the trap. 777 times. And now the hand's got a pistol in it. When they reach here, when they knock on that door, I'll press the trigger, and so I won't have them face them. None of them. 777 broken necks, and no one knew that I was the man who did it. Not even she knew it. Ellen, my own wife, not even she. I met her, married her, and she didn't know. Until that day, Infernal day, that meddling fool nosing around.
It's the truth. I'm telling you, Mrs. Jones. There's God's be judge.
No, there must be some mistake.
No mistake at all, Mrs. Jones. No mistake at all. My husband told me. And he never makes mistakes. Not my husband.
What did you say?
State executioner. You know your husband's Oh, don't you know?
Please, I don't know what you're talking about.
Look here. Don't you know what your husband does?
You mean the business he's in?
Business. Hanging's the business.
Hanging?
Hanging. On a rope.
But what has Samuel to do with those?
Mrs. Jones, are you saying you don't know that Samuel's the hangsman?
You must be crazy.
Oh, so I'm crazy, am I? Well, he's the hangsman, and no mistake about it.
He's not.
And I
He's not. He's not. Get out of here. Get out.
Oh, no, you don't have to be. Well, here he is. Ask him yourself.
Oh, Sam.
What's going on here? What's the matter? What is it, Ellen?
Oh, Sam, this woman.
What about this woman? What?
All I've done is to tell the God's truth.
Oh, Sam, she says...
Says what? What?
All I said was that you were the hangsman, as you are.
Get out of here.
Now, just a minute.
Get out.
All right, I'll go.
Say one more word about me and I'll kill you. You hear me? I'll kill you. Meddling fools.
Sam.
You shouldn't have talked to her. Why did you listen?
Sam.
Things like that, it isn't good for me.
Sam, it is true.
Man's got to earn his living.
I'm living from killing.
You're crazy. I don't kill. I don't condemn them.
You killed
I tell you, I'm not the judge. Oh, now, Ellen.
Touch me, hangman.
All right, that's what I am. Hangman. Yes, hangman. Say it again and again. What do I care? I like being a hangman. You hear me? I like being a hangman.
Oh, no.
Yes, here's something more.
No, Sam.
I like killing them.
No.
I like the way they stumble when they walk up the stairs.
No.
I like the cold whiteness of their skins when I put the noose around their necks. I like the way everyone looks at me, watches me, and then the crash and the rope stretches. Sometimes their legs kick in the air and you hear them heaving for a little while. They can't get past the tightened rope around their neck.
No, Sam. No, Sam.
When I was a boy, they strung a man up from a tree just outside of a town. And I watched him and I saw him dance on air, and I said to myself, someday I'll do that too.
No.
Hang them, legal, make them dance on air, because it's the law. And now I'm doing what I wanted. Executioner for the crown. And Whalen won't change it a bit. Now, come here to me.
No, stay away from me.
Come here.
No, I won't stay with you. I won't, Hangman. I won't stay with you. I'll go away.
I thought she wouldn't leave me, but she did. Ellen left me. I looked all over, couldn't find her. After a while, I didn't care. What's a woman? I had my work. Hanging work. 5 guineas a hanging and gold coin. 5 of them. 5 golden guineas. I like the sound of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I bought a strong box and kept them there. Every hanging meant 5 more. Paying me they were for what I liked to do. It was funny, very funny. I didn't miss her. No, why should I? I had my work. I got to be good at my work. The courts were good, too. They gave me plenty to do. I tried out different ways. I made a hanging machine with springs and sandbags that jerked the man into the air first and then dropped him through a trap. I tried out different ropes and different running nooses. Oh, I got to be good at it in 20 years, real good. Ticking. Stop ticking. I hear you, blasted clock. I hear you. What are you trying to tell me? I know. There isn't much time left. They'll be here soon. Let them come. I'm ready. Pistol in my hand, I'm ready. For the first knock on the door, I won't be here to hear them. I'll have peace and quiet. Whatever they say to me, I won't hear it because I'll be dead. And why should they say it? What's done is done. 777 of them. It was fun because each died different. 777 different hangings. It was fun, I tell you, fun. Some are moaning. And some went to the gallows a crying. Best of all, I like the one that went out crazy scared. Scream, yell, wail. Yes. The ones that were crazy scared were the best. I like them fine. And 5 guineas just the same for having fun. 5 guineas. What's that at the door? I heard a sound. No. I just imagine no one's knocking. If they knock, I press the trigger. They won't get me, not me. 777 at 5 guineas each. Coins that bit into my flesh when I grabbed them tight. Oh, I like the sound. Money, money, yellow money. First, I like the hangings best, and then the money. Then I got to like them both. Watching, eager around the courtrooms, this trial, that trial. Would they hang him? Would they hang her? Would the judge say guilty? If he did, meant hanging another 5 guineas. Oh, I'll watch for business, new business, my business. Hang them up and watch them die. When will they knock on the door, men? Pistol's heavy in my hand. He used a pistol, too, they said. Tom Allen. I read about him in the court announcement one day when I was outside of the courtroom looking for new business. Hanging business.
Thomas Allen, 20-year-old law student, was charged by the city police with having murdered his sweetheart, Lorraine Hamilton, 19-year-old daughter of Arvin Hamilton. Young Allen denied the charge vigorously. He stated that the girl had sent him a letter in which he told of her intentions of committing suicide. But at a late hour, Allen was unable to produce this letter. He was held without bond at the Tower in the church.
Yes, that's what it said. That's what it said. He'd murdered her, young girl. The minute I read it, I said to myself, Sam Jones is the next one. I could hear the money clinking in my hand already. And Tom Allen hanging by his neck. What am I thinking about? Why don't they come and knock on the door and let me get this over with? I need the knocking on the door to give me nerve enough to press the trigger. This waiting. I waited for Tom Allen, too. I waited for them to say guilty to him so I could put the running noose around his neck. I waited, going every day to the trial. The prosecutor for the Crown said...
Guilty.
The young man's solicitor said...
Not guilty.
The young man said...
I didn't do it. I tell you, I didn't do it. She did it herself. She wrote me a letter saying that she was killing herself. She wrote me a letter. I tell you, she wrote me a letter.
Yes, that's what he said. She wrote me a letter saying she was killing herself. But where was the letter? Nobody knew. Couldn't find it. And day after day, sitting there in the courtroom, I could see the noose coming close and close. A few days more and he'd be dancing on air. Another 5 guineas in my box. Such a pity, such a handsome young man, strong young neck for my rope. I say he didn't have a chance. What good did it do for his solicitor to keep saying...
I tell you, gentlemen, it is circumstantial evidence and circumstantial evidence alone which has been produced. A weird combination of circumstances have conspired to make it appear that the suicide of this unfortunate girl was a murder committed by this equally unfortunate young man. And an equally weird set of circumstances have resulted in the disappearance of this vital letter, which clears Tom Allen of all responsibility for Mistress Hamilton's death. In this letter, the girl clearly stated that she was taking her own life by poison. In spite of the absence of this letter, surely you, as intelligent men, can tell after seeing and hearing Tom Allen's testimony that he is telling the truth, that such a letter did reach him, and that he is innocent of all wrongdoing.
But there was no letter. He didn't have a chance. The prosecutor for the Crown got up. He said...
A letter. The mysterious letter. And where, gentlemen of the jury, is this letter? To what mystical realms has it disappeared? This wondrous communication which so conveniently absolved Tom Allen for the death of that poor girl. Where, I ask again, is this letter? The young man has stated repeatedly that the letter was in his lodging undestroyed. But every inch of that lodging has been carefully examined. And yet the letter has not been found. And why hasn't it been found, gentlemen? I will tell you. It is because that letter does not exist. Lorraine Hamilton never wrote such a letter. She was murdered. Murdered in a fit of jealous rage by this man who expects you to believe a preposterous story about her death.
Yes. I sat there and I felt good. Because I saw that young fellow didn't have a chance. My noose was getting closer and closer to his neck. And then the black cap on the judge's head.
For this vicious crime against the order and security of the Crown, you, Thomas Allen, are hereby condemned to be hanged by the neck until dead.
No, I didn't do it. I didn't do it, I tell you. I didn't. I'm innocent. I didn't do it, I tell you.
Then I had him. All his yelling, all his screaming wouldn't do any good. I had him all ready for my new skilty. I wanted to go up and thank the judges. Gave me business, hanging business, devil's business. Why don't they hurry up and get here? Wouldn't have to think anymore. Knock on the door, I wouldn't have to think. Finger squeeze the trigger, finished piece. I wouldn't have to think what happened then, what happened after they said the boy was guilty. They put him in a cell. Death cell, the door shut tight. And I stood and watched. They put him in a cell. 5 golden guineas in the cell. A few more weeks and he'd be mine to teach that dancing lesson on thin air. I counted every day until they'd give him to me. I peeked along the corridor watching his cell. The warden of the prison said,
"Well, Sam, it certainly looks as if you're going to have another customer. I suppose you heard about it. The king refused young Allen's last appeal. He hangs in 2 more days. We'll try to make his going as easy as we can. I like the lad. Too bad about that letter he says the girl wrote him. Well, no use talking about it. We've got to do our duty. Oh, by the way, you're going past the cell? Here's some books of his. His landlady sent him. Thought he might like to read them while he had the time. Take them with you, Sam, and give them to him. It'll be his last time to read.
So I took the books along. Why not? Reading wouldn't save that neck. I started down the corridors with his books. Down the corridors toward the death cell. Something white fell out of one of his books, and I picked it up. It was a letter, and it read,
"Dear Tom, I told you I was going to kill myself, and now I'm going to do it. By the time you get this, the police ought to be accusing you of murder, since undoubtedly all those people who heard us quarrel the other night will be testifying that you killed me. That's the main reason I'm sending you this letter, so that you will have some proof that the poison they'll find in me was self-administered. Forgive me. I'm just tired of living."
And it was her name signed to it, hers, that girl's. The one they said he'd killed. This was the letter. The letter he'd been yelling about. The letter he wanted to save his neck. But his neck belonged to me already. 5 guineas. I stuck the letter deeper in my pocket and just waited until the night. The warden...
"Well, Sam, it looks as if we're going to have to go through with it. Now, I want everything done properly and no mistake. Going to have a large visitors' gallery. Very distinguished people. Say, and that reminds me, there's been some woman trying to see you all day. Some woman. Don't know who she is, Sam. She says she's got to see you."
Well, I wasn't seeing any woman, not that night. There was my work to do. See that everything was ready. The rope was ready. Everything perfect for a perfect hanging. It grew later and later. I could hear him in the death cell pleading with the minister.
You've got to help me, sir. You've got to. You've got to get the king. He's got to believe that I didn't kill her. I didn't. Oh, won't anyone believe me? She wrote me a letter. She wrote me a letter in which she said she killed herself. She wrote me a letter, I tell you. She wrote me a letter.
Yes, a letter. The letter was in my pocket, and there it was going to stay until it was all over. He couldn't live now. I'd waited too long. It had been such a long time since they'd given me a good, strong neck to hang. They couldn't cheat me now. At last it was the hour. They came for him in his cell. They led him down the corridor. And then they were marching him up the stairs to the gallows. I was waiting. The rope was in my hand. The boy looked up at me. His lips moved. He said,
"I tell you I didn't do it. The letter.
Black hood over his head.
The letter, I didn't kill her. The letter, I tell you I didn't do it."
The trap. His heart.
This man is dead.
It was done. This man is dead. 5 golden guineas, the warden said.
Good work, Sam. Broke his neck.
I went out into the street. I was walking home. I felt real good. 5 golden guineas. A woman came up to me and said...
"Are you Sam Jones?"
"Yes, that's me. What do you want? I haven't got time
You'll have time to listen to me, hangman.
Who are you?
Look at me.
Ellen.
Yes, Ellen.
Wife?
Wife no longer, hangman. Nor mother either.
Eh?
Nor mother either, and you're the thing that's done it.
Oh, wait, what?
I tried to reach you. I tried to tell you. They said you wouldn't see me. What could I do? What could I do? Your hand did it. Yours, hangman, yours.
What are you talking about, woman? Why?
Tonight, Tom Allen. My maiden name was Allen. Don't you understand? You hung Tom Allen.
Well, and so I did. What of it, woman? What of it?
Tom Allen, hangman, was your son.
No.
Your son. You hear me, hangman? Your son. You hung your son. You hung your son. Your son. You hung your son. Your son. Your son. You hung your son.
I began to run. Down the street. Away from her. Running. A man stepped out of the shadows. He stopped me. I couldn't see his face.
You killed my brother 7 years ago this night, hangman.
I said, no, leave me alone. I kept on running. A woman stopped me.
You killed my brother 7 years
You hung my father, monster. You hung my father 11 years ago.
No, I said, no, let me go. I kept on running, but they kept after me, yelling, screaming. I kept on running. Faster. New voices joined them. I looked back. The street was black with hundreds chasing me, yelling, screaming. I'd hung their sons, fathers, brothers. The street was black with them, I tell you, and every one of them akin to one of the 777 that had felt my rope. Chasing me. Hundreds of them yelling, screaming after my life, wanting my blood. Hands outstretched like claws to catch me, tear my flesh and stretch my eyes up. Running, wouldn't catch me, no! That's the way I did it. Slammed the door, lost the pack of them. Every one of them wives and sons and brothers of the 777. But they'll find me. They'll search me out. They're searching me out. Yes, they'll find me. That's why my finger's on the pistol. The mob won't get me. No, the mob won't get me. Funny mob they were. They're not bodies, just heads of people chasing me and yelling. They won't get me. No, they won't. When they find me here, when they knock on that door, I'll kill myself. And they're here outside the door. You won't get me. Not you. Yes, I hung your sons, husbands, killed your friends, lovers, but that's not all. I hung my son. You hear me? Hung my son for 5 guineas. Hung my son. Yes. Come in, all of you, and see me die.
And you mean to say he yelled out for you to come in and then he shot himself?
Yes, sir. It's the God's truth. I knocked on the door. He yelled, come in, all of you, and see me die. And when I opened the door, bang, he did it.
And what were you banging on his door for this early in the morning? What were you after?
After nothing. I was looking for MacDonald. Lives next house. I just knocked on the wrong door.
For the devil and Mr. O.
Good evening. This is Van Christo. Welcome to the Van Christo Radio Theater. Tonight we present another of the radio plays of Arch Obler, the famed writer and producer of Lights Out. These collected plays, presented under the title of The Devil and Mr. O, represent radio drama at its finest. This is the theater of your mind, where you are about to enter the zero dimension. There are no boundaries or time limits here, only the depths of your own imagination. And now, to tell you about tonight's program, here is Mr. O.
This is Mr. O, Arch Obler. Have you ever wanted to turn time backwards to a pleasanter era, back to the days long before ticking atom bombs and air pollution and the inbred madness of our cities? Well, our story begins after a word from your announcer.
The most natural...
This is Mr. O again. Now picture this in your mind. We're in the Dordogne region in France. Beside a road shimmering in the heat of the midday sun stands a large, dusty limousine. The lid to the engine is open, and a begrimed little Frenchman tinkers with the mechanism. Within the car sits an Englishwoman, Kay Stanton by name. And next to her is Jim Brent, an American, a member of our own State Department's diplomatic corps. By the way, if you haven't turned out your lights yet, turn them out now and listen to Neanderthal.
Aren't I what, ma chère?
Aren't you clever with engines?
Oh, I think I will rest a moment and talk with you. Oh, the sun. It is doing its best to fry the little brains I have left.
Poor dear. Come on, get in. Jeffrey was worried about your ability to fix the engine.
Most comfortable. You should try working with your hands, my dear Jeffrey. It gives one a most exquisite appreciation of the comforts of upholstered seats.
Sorry I'm such a dud at machinery.
Now, Jeffrey, don't be so stuffy. Claude's much too primeval in his ways to be subtle. He thought you ought to help fix the engine. He'd be shouting the fact at the top of his voice.
Not at the top, my dear, but perhaps in a middle register. Oui, Kay, as usual you are right. I lack all knowledge of the diplomatic arts. If I do not like what a man is doing, I am forced to say so abruptly and completely. What an advantage you men of the diplomatic service have over we other poor mortals, my dear Jeffrey.
Sorry, but I'm much too warm at the moment to think you're very funny.
Oh, you too. The minute you get together, the great battle of words begins. Aggressiveness versus diplomacy. The financier versus the diplomat. As the Americans say, bury the hatchet, my friend.
I'm afraid Monsieur Wallace will never appreciate my virtues. He likes men who sit around green tables and talk. I, on the other hand, do not like sitting. I do.
The diplomatic way of getting things done is the only civilized way.
And again, monsieur, I must beg to disagree. There comes a time when if a thing is to be done, one must do it. And diplomacy, how do you say it, be hanged.
The philosophy of ruthlessness. Caveman philosophy.
What do we know of cavemen?
I know that a ruthless aggressiveness may reap temporary rewards, but those rewards that have come in a far greater and more permanent form have resulted from the use of a civilized code. A friendly exchange. Calm consideration of facts. The ethical way of life.
The ethical way of life. I tell you...
All right, gentlemen. There's just about enough of that for one day.
So sorry.
1,000 pardons, my dear Kay.
Are you certain it will run, Renner?
In my simplicity, I know but one way to find out, and that is to try and start it. Voila.
Clever Claude, isn't he, Jeffrey?
Let's hope it continues to run.
Oh, charming thought. Let's be on our way, Claude, before we fall apart.
Certain, Bob.
We're very late, Claude, so speed's the word.
Right. The sooner we get out of this country, the better I like it.
Why do you say that?
Oh, I don't like this place. It gives me the chills.
With the sun doing its best to parboil us? What are you talking about?
I'm not talking of temperatures. I'm talking of atmosphere. These forests and hills. Whenever I travel through here, I feel as if I were passing through a place old beyond decay.
But that is amazing.
What do you mean?
Because what you say of this country we are passing through, you speak profound truth.
Truth?
We are at Le Moustier.
Le Moustier?
Oui. Does that mean nothing to you?
Nothing.
Not to me either.
Le Moustier, the Mysterian period, dawn of mankind, the Neanderthal man.
You mean here?
Oui, here. In this country which you say is old beyond decay, were founded Neanderthaloid skeletons, what you call cavemen, men from the dawn of man's antiquity.
Claude, are you serious?
Some of the finest specimens of Neanderthaloid skeletons have been discovered in the caves right in this region.
Really?
It is unfortunate we are in such a hurry, or we could stop perhaps and see a few of the caves where the excavation have been made by the anthropologists.
We haven't time for that sort of thing.
I said as much.
Claude.
So I was saying, the anthropologists have found the most wonderful remains of this early species of man, who are said to be the source of the horrible ogres in our fairy tales.
What are you talking about?
Silly nonsense.
Yes, Claude. How could anyone possibly know after 50,000 years what this Neanderthal caveman looked like?
But that is simple. From the peculiarities of the skeletons that have been found, it is simple to reconstruct the physical appearance of the race.
Really?
I remember hearing the hands and feet were very large. The thigh bones curved so that the men walked like apes. Teeth and jaws were large. Enormous brow ridges resulting in a fierce, horrible expression.
How nice.
Oh, no. They were men and not men. Horrible characters.
Hey, would you mind telling your erudite friend to step on the accelerator? We've got to be at Monet within 2 hours. We'll never get there at the pace he's driving.
And Kay, would you tell your impatient compatriot that I drive as fast and in a manner that pleases me alone? Would you tell him that?
Claude, look out, the road's blocked.
Don't swing your wheel, you fool!
I can't hear something is wrong. I can't.
Hey! Jeffrey, please open your eyes. Jeffrey, please open your eyes. I'm so frightened. I don't know what.
Kay.
Oh, thank God you're all right.
You're all right?
Yes, I'm all right, but Claude, I don't know where he is.
Hey, Cliff. We went over.
We were thrown clear, I guess. The car's over there. It all broken up. But Claude, I can't see him.
Here, help me up.
Oh, what is it, Jeffrey?
Oh, my arm. Broken, I guess.
Oh, Jeffrey.
Oh, I'll be all right. Lucky to be alive.
I don't understand going over that horrible cliff. And Claude.
Back here. In the brush.
Well, come ahead. Well, what's the matter? Are you hurt?
My knee. Kay, are you all right?
Oh, yes, Claire. All right, stay where you are. We'll come to you. We'll come to you. Don't move.
Oh.
Sorry, Claude. Have to get my knee bandaged.
It is all right. A little pain is better than oblivion.
Sorry, I can't be of any help, old man. This blasted arm of mine.
It is all right, my friend. Kay is doing excellently.
How cold it is.
That wind.
Freezing.
But how could that be? In the middle of July.
Claude. Jeffrey. What is this? The car goes over a cliff. We don't die. A warm, sunny day, and now suddenly it's like winter. What is this? Tell me, what is this?
Steady.
There must be some logical explanation. I know this country, like you say, like the back of my hand. There is never such cold wind here in July. I tell you... Oh,
Claude, you shouldn't try to get help.
I'm all right.
Oh, we've got to get help somehow.
No. All I want now is a cigarette.
I haven't any. Oh, there's some in the side pocket of the car. I'll get some.
No, Jeffrey, I'll get some.
But you
can't go through the bushes with that arm of yours. I'm all right. I'll be right back.
Kay.
Hey, wait.
No, I'll be back in a minute.
This infernal knee.
Better sit quietly.
Quietly. It is not in my nature to be quiet. A stick. Get me a stick. I'm not going to lie here the rest of my life. Get me a stick for a crutch and
Wait a minute.
But I tell you...
Wait, I tell you. There's someone coming.
Kay?
No, the other direction.
But I do not see.
There, over there to the right. There, don't you see? The bushes are being pushed back.
Yes, I see. Some peasant will give us assistance. Now everything will be all right.
Of course. Oh, there we are. He's in the clearing. Now he...
Who is that? Oh, no. Claude. Who? Am I mad? This cannot be.
He's looking at me.
God. Yes. But who? Who? You do not understand?
Understand what? Talk up.
Did you not see him as I saw him? The short, hairy, twisted body, the head thrust forward, the neck bent like an ape, those enormous brow ridges, the broad, flat nose. You did not recognize.
Well.
Once, in your own British Museum, I saw a reproduction of a man like that.
Huh?
But never did I think that
I would see him in life.
I tell you, speak. Who was he? Who?
A man of the cave. A Neanderthaler.
Yeah? Are you insane? Why, the race is extinct 50,000 years.
I tell you only what I saw, what I know.
And I tell you you're mad.
But you saw as I did.
No.
The thick, hairy body, the short, ape-like limbs, that misshapen face like something out of a nightmare. Yes, a nightmare of 50,000 years ago. A caveman comes out of the past.
No, stop talking like that. It can't be, I tell you, it can't be. He's some madman wandering these forests, that's all. Why, cavemen died here 50,000 years ago. If the past doesn't come back, I tell you it doesn't. Why? Claude. Kay.
Oh.
Kay. Kay.
Kay.
Kay, where are you?
Kay, where are you?
Kay.
Answer. Kay.
And now a word from your announcer before we return to the excitement of Neanderthal.
Today, you'll be glad you did.
This is Mr. O once more. Let's go back to our story of Neanderthal. An auto wreck somewhere in France, and out of the past has come a man of the caves, a creature supposedly extinct for 50,000 years. The Frenchman Claude believes that this has happened, but the American Jim Brent does not. Now the two men are searching for the third member of their party, the Englishwoman who has suddenly disappeared. We give you again Neanderthal.
Well, it's nonsense, I tell you. Hallucination.
Eh?
Yes, hallucination. Driving along, we were talking about the Neanderthal man. So when we saw that hairy peasant, we immediately took for granted that, well, here was one of the Neanderthal come to life. I tell you, the air was hazier. Our nerves were shot. We saw things that don't exist.
Why is it so bitter cold? That, at least, is reality.
Keep moving.
So, I'll answer my own question. It is bitter cold because time has moved back to the third interglacial age. You do not believe the evidence of your senses. Yet perhaps you will believe that is a campfire up ahead.
It is a fire. Here, quickly, Renee. Oh, quickly. Can't you hobble faster? Kay, we'll get who's ever there to help us find Kay. Come, hurry, Renee, hurry. It's the one we saw, all right.
Keep your voice down. He will hear us.
What manner of man is he?
Time and time again I have told you.
But he and all like him have been dead 50,000 years. You said that yourself. Dead don't come back to life.
We have come into his life, not he into ours.
Kay,
keep your voice down.
Oh, but Kay,
she is not there. You can see for yourself.
Well, then she's lost. She's wandering around.
Keep your voice down. I warn you.
Lunatic, savage, whatever he is, perhaps he's seen Kay.
Get down, you fool.
No, I'm going to talk to him.
Stay down.
Hey, you up there. Look, we want to talk to you.
You fool, what have you done?
See, he's coming this way. I'll settle this.
Oh, you. While we were unseen, we had a chance to plan, to do. But now.
Don't talk like that. I was in West Africa for 2 years. I know how to deal with savages.
Look at him. You think there is even a savage?
He stopped. Afraid of us. He's the ugliest beggar I've ever seen. Friends, old man. See? Friends. Look, money. I bring you money. And pretty things.
Mon Dieu, what a fool. Birds of money for him. Jeffrey, look out.
Let me go, you...
Jeffrey.
Friends, I tell you.
Jeffrey, I can't help you. Do not try to hold back your tears, my friend.
That devil.
I never realized before what pain the human mind could endure.
But why did he do this to me? Why?
Do you ask the wolf why it kills?
Oh, killing would be one thing, but...
Once I saw a gypsy break the wings of a wild bird.
Oh, Renee. I never thought that the time would come in my life when I couldn't reason something out. But this is beyond reason. Thrown into a cave like a side of beef to wait. To wait for what? What? Oh,
Wait.
What?
Someone is coming. I
hear nothing.
Listen. A woman. Kay.
Catherine, is that you?
Kay, answer.
Oh, Jeffrey. Claude.
Oh, Kay, you. Oh, Catherine, are you all right?
Kay, where were you?
No, you. Are both of you all right?
We're all right.
We don't matter. Are you all right?
So dark in here. Are you all right? Tell me.
Catherine, you.
It is you that matters. What?
No, listen. There's so little time.
Eh?
What?
He's busy building up a fire. There's a chance if we run quickly.
Run quickly.
Yes, come.
We're not at liberty to go, my dear.
Why?
A matter of broken bones.
Oh, no.
That is the way it is.
Tell me what happened. Jeffrey, you. Claude, you. Tell me what happened to us. That old... Who is he? Is he really a Neanderthal?
There is no doubt.
But men like that have been dead for centuries. How did it happen? Why are we here?
When the automobile went over the cliff, we went into another dimension of time.
What? I don't understand.
And I, too, understand little. But can it be that it bends in time or static things, that everything which occurs remains in existence as life moves on further along the corridor of time?
Then you mean when the automobile went over the cliff, in some way we went back into time instead of forward?
No, that's impossible. Things exist when they exist, not afterwards. No, there's a factual explanation to all this.
Factual? Is not the pain of our bones fact enough? Is not...
Wait.
What is it? A chant of some sort.
Why is he...
What is he saying? What?
The beginning of worship. A chant to the rising sun.
What is happening to us? Only a few hours ago. So happy, the three of us. On our way to a party.
Party. Another age.
We've got to do something.
Strange.
What?
Only a few hours ago, I was the doer. And you, Jeffrey, the calm, poised diplomat of the green table.
Stop talking nonsense. Listen. He's coming in here. For us? We've got to do something. Do you hear me? Do something. I won't die. I can't die. Do you hear me? Do something. I won't die like this. I can't.
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry. I never could endure pain.
We understand, Jeffrey.
Try not to think, dear.
All my life, I've known what to say. And now?
Oh, Jeffrey.
No. Let me talk. While I can talk, I'm a man. And I won't be a man when he gets in here.
If I had a gun.
A world of reason. That's what it was to me. And everything could be settled with reason. In a world of reason.
If I had a gun.
Everything could be straightened out at the conference table. That's what I thought. All my life it would be that way. All my life. But you see, that was because I'd never met force in all my life.
If I had a
But
gun.
you can't reason with unreason, can you? When you're facing brute force, words and ethics and logic and good faith don't mean anything, do they?
If I had a gun.
You've got to face force with force. And a gun is force. And I've got a gun.
Jeffrey!
You thought of it, hey? Yes, I tell you, I've got a gun. Diplomatic service. They made me carry it. Oh, I hated it. I thought I'd never use it, but now we've got to, don't we? We've got to.
Oh, he's coming in here.
God, your right arm's all right. Reach in my pocket there. The gun, use it, use it.
But I
use it if we're to live, use it.
Jeffrey, it's reaching.
Come on.
No, my hand, I can't.
All right, then. I'll shoot it.
so. It's morning. Now we go on living. Something may happen to return us to where we belong.
I don't think so.
Nor I. Perhaps we will be able to leave some record behind us so that the world of the future will know and understand this strange thing that has happened, this meeting of the present and the past.
Jeffrey, don't just stare. It's over. Talk to us.
I was thinking. I just killed a man. Yet, it's 50,000 years before I was born.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard a fantasy, just a story about a long time ago world where brute and unreasoning force were the order of the day and men were afraid until they found deep courage within themselves. Yes, what you heard was just a fantasy, but think about it in terms of what happened in the recent past of our world and what might happen in the very near future. Think about it. But let's talk more about that after a word from your announcer. This is Mr. O again. We were talking about the future, all right? Let's talk about our future play. Of all the stories out of my writing past, the one that many people ask me about is the very strange story titled The Revolt of the Worms. Yes, worms. Those little night crawlers on your lawn, those strange, slimy creatures of the dark who plowed under the land long before mankind ever invented the plow. So, next week I bring you The Revolt of the Worms, and I challenge you to listen. It is later than you think.
That's our story for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it and will join us again as we travel through the zero dimension in the theater of your own imagination. So until we meet again next week, when I bring you another story in the night, this is Van Crystal reminding you that the extent of your own imagination is unlimited. One purpose of these programs is to help you exercise those imaginative powers. I hope we've succeeded.
Ironized Yeast presents Lights Out. Everybody. It is later than you think. Lights Out brings you stories of the supernatural and the supernormal, dramatizing the fantasies and the mysteries of the unknown. We tell you this frankly, so if you wish to avoid the excitement and tension of these imaginative plays, we urge you calmly but sincerely to turn off your radio now.
This is Arch Obler. If you don't mind, I'm not going to tell you anything about the story we're going to do in a few minutes. Neither the title, nor anything about the characters, nor even the usual remark about any similarity of this story to real events and actual people occurring so and so. No, we're just going to tell you a strange story. But first, Bob Stevenson.
And ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about you. If you're so unattractively thin and jittery and run down that you're really only half living, maybe it simply means you're not getting enough vitamin B and iron from your food. If that's it, don't pin your hopes on halfway health. Get ironized yeast. It's a two-way tonic. It gives you both vitamin B and iron. Thousands of weary, worn-out men and women who only needed more of these substances are singing its praises. These folks tell us how quickly ironized yeast has helped them gain the grand new pounds, the glorious new pep and strength and sparkle they needed to really enjoy living. Remember that name, ironized yeast. And now, lights out, everybody.
Hello? Hello, police department? My name is Charles Krager. Dr. Charles Krager. I live at 872 West Street, apartment 2B. I want you to come and get me. I've just killed a man. J. Drogan. Did you hear me? I said come and get me. I just killed a man. His name was...
No, I'm willing to bet on it. I'm telling you, sir, my name is Jay Drogan. I'm going to drink this. Jay, forget it, will you? You better lie down and get some rest. Put your hands off me. I said I was going to drink this mess, and I'm going to drink it. Right out of the cocktail shaker. What are you doing? He's really drinking it.
Oh, I can't look at it.
Oh, boy. Oh, that was terrific. How did it taste? Wonderful. Jay!
He's sick.
No, I'm all right. I didn't hear. Window open. The windows. Who broke all the windows? Oh, my head. Oh, what time? 9. I've got to get up. Get to work. All dressed. Bed in my clothes. Put me to bed. Oh, it doesn't matter. All right. Hello, Jay Drogan speaking. Who? Oh, yeah. Hello, friend. Sure, I'm coming down to the office. Party? All right, a man gotta have some fun once in a while, can't he? I gotta wash up, All right, I'll be down there. Goodbye. Son of a... Where's my hat? Well, what? Windows broken. Some party. Tell superintendent, get windows fixed. Wonder what... Oh, well. Better get to the office. Good thing building has an elevator. Couldn't walk downstairs. Good morning, Mr. Drogan.
Oh, hello, Mr. Jensen.
Now,
what the devil's the matter with this elevator? I've been punching this button for 5 minutes.
Well, it takes time for it to come down when it's up on the top floor. Takes time.
The devil with the time. It's always going wrong, that elevator. I wish that blasted thing would fall through the basement. Hey! It's going!
It fell. Just like you said.
Oh, then, Drogan, sit down. Sit down. Thank you, Doctor. It was good of you to see me without an appointment. Well, you seem to be in quite a state. What is it? It's my head. You injured it? No, I don't think so. You see, I had a little party at my house last night. Oh, my head. Well, never mind. Well, this certainly is the morning after the night before. Over to the window and let me look at you. Yes, Doctor. It's my head, Doctor. Every sound. Just the morning after. But every sound. That blasted airplane up there is so loud in my head, Doctor. No, don't get excited. Why does that infernal pilot have to fly so low? Blast you up there! Why don't you crack up? Look! He's falling. What you said, Drogan, really happened. All right, Drogan, we got to be moving on. Yeah, you come back to my office, and I'll give you a sedative, and lie down and rest a little while, and then you'll be all right. Yeah. Coincidences. That's nothing. That's all it was. Nothing more. Well, watch out, man. Watch out where you're walking. It's okay. Now we can cross. Hey, you! How'd you like that guy? Blasted cabs, they think they own the street. If I had my way, I'd smash them all out. Stop!
It's happened. Again.
Drink this. No, I tell you, drink this.
I don't want to.
It isn't what you want to do. It's a sedative. Now, drink it.
Putting me to sleep for a little while is no help.
Last night. Think about last night. Perhaps you, drank something out of the ordinary.
Huh?
Well, why do you look at me like that?
I did.
What?
That drink, I just remembered.
Tell me.
But that couldn't be it.
Tell me.
Well, we got a kidding about who could mix the most unusual drinks, and I was feeling high, and I mixed one.
Well, what was in the drink?
I don't know.
Well, you must know. If I knew what was in the drink, perhaps some chemical... Oh, wait a minute. Where do you think you're going?
To the office.
Well, what?
Fred, my business. I've got to...
No. You're completely out of your head. You're a menace, a walking danger. Don't you realize that you can't go out of here until we figure this out, some way to stop it? If you don't, every time you say a negative thought, it'll happen and someone will die. Do you want that? What's the matter with you? Why should you laugh? Stop it. Stop it.
Well, it's funny. I go to see my doctor because I'm going out of my head, and he goes out of his head.
But what happened to you that all of a sudden
you said that I was a menace. When you said that, well, all at once, everything cleared up.
What?
Yeah. Me, a menace. That's the funniest thing anybody ever said about me. Look at me. No hair, half my teeth aren't my own. I've got a pot belly. I'm a menace. Yeah, you, a doctor who's supposed to judge things only by facts, suddenly decide I'm a menace. Why? Because 3 screwy things happened that I had nothing to do with. That I had nothing to do with. Coincidences. Like getting 4 aces 2 times running, or rolling 7 25 times in a row, or anything else where 2 and 2 doesn't add up to 4. That elevator would have fallen anyway, and that plane, so his motor cut out just when I said it. And the cabs, we were both so scared we ran off without finding out whether or not there was a good reason why 3 cabs smashed up. Sure, cabs have accidents all the time. So, well, does that make me a menace? I ask you. Is that the way for a doctor to talk?
No, I'm sorry. Of course you're right. I'm talking like an emotional moron. Funny, isn't it? I'm the man who has always evaluated situations through factual evidence. And even then, I've retained some measure of skepticism because I know how misleading human observation can be. Trogan, would you mind shaking hands with a blasted fool?
Sure, Doc. And you're shaking hands with one, too. Now, if you don't mind, can I use your telephone?
Sure. Of course.
I've got to call my office, explain why I'm late. Oh, had me scared for a while. Hello, that you, Fred? Yes, I'm on my way in. But I tell you, I'll be there in a few minutes. But I'm telling you, I know, but I'm coming. Oh, stop yelling at me. Why don't you drop dead? Fred. Hey, Fred.
What's the matter?
I don't know. 1 minute I was talking to him, and then... Fred, answer me. No, it can't be. You're lying. Hello?
Trogan, what is it? Tell me.
Someone said Fred just dropped dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, to stop a suspense story may seem an intrusion. But before going on with the story of this strange little miracle man, perhaps a breath or two of relaxation is indicated. Yes, before going on with our lights-out story of the projective Mr. Drogan, let's turn to a problem of these hectic times. We have a very troubled young lady here.
Trouble's no word for it. My boss wants to give me a dandy new job, but I'm so tired out and run down and jittery, I'm afraid I couldn't handle it. I'm getting much too thin. And I've tried every tonic I know, but nothing I try seems to help me.
Well, miss, maybe you just haven't tried the right tonic. Maybe more vitamin B and iron's what you need.
Vitamin B and iron? Does that make such a difference?
Well, when you don't get enough vitamin B from your meals, you may lose your appetite. eat so poorly that you lose weight and strength, or you may not get all the good out of what you do eat. And when you don't get enough iron from your food, you may be weak and pale and feel only half alive.
How can I get more vitamin B and iron if I need them?
The quickest, easiest way I know is take ironized yeast tablets. They give you both vitamin B and iron. And pleasant little ironized yeast tablets are a cinch to take.
But, are they terribly expensive?
Oh, not a bit of it. They cost but a few pennies a day. So try ironized yeast tablets if more vitamin B and iron is what you need. Then see if pretty quick you aren't saying,
Tired? Not me. I'm so full of pep now I hardly know myself, and I've gained pounds. Why didn't somebody tell me about ironized yeast tablets ages ago?
And now, back to lights out. At the moment when both Drogan and the doctor had rationalized the miracles into coincidences, another miracle had taken place. Another miracle of death. And now the men sit in the doctor's office, and there is great fear in both of them.
What time is it, Doctor? 1. I can't just sit here. No. You're my responsibility. I've got to think something out. I just can't keep on not thinking anything. Great Godfrey. What's the matter with me? You can perform miracles. I'm convinced of that. All right. Then why in the name of common sense can't you perform positive miracles instead of negative ones? I don't understand. Listen to me. It's simple. It's so simple that neither one of us thought of it. Just as you can kill people and cause accidents, why can't you do good? Good? Yes, good. Heal the sick, give eyes to the blind. But when it comes to killing, kill the ones who should be killed. That's right. Maybe I could do that. Hitler, Mussolini. Why, you could wipe out the whole Nazi army by just saying so. Yeah, but how would we know? Wait a minute. It's all clear now. Every miracle that you performed today was a negative miracle. The falling elevator, the airplane, the taxis, your friend. Everything negative. You haven't performed a single positive miracle. Not a miracle for good instead of evil. Well, come with me. Where? Out in the street again. Come on, Drogan. We've got to find out if you can perform a good miracle just as easily as performing the other kind. And if you can, well, you'll start making history in a few minutes, Mr. Drogan. Now. What? On the corner, the newsman. He's blind. Well, don't be stupid. We'll go over to him.
Paper, get your paper.
Hello, Tom.
That you, Doctor?
Yes, give me a magazine. Well, anyone will do.
Yes, sir.
Wish it, Drogan. Wish that he could see. I am.
Hey, Doctor. How have you been?
Oh, never mind about me. How about you?
Huh?
How about your eyes?
Are you kidding?
Drogan, out loud. You've got to say it out loud.
Hey, Doc, what's the matter?
Say it. I wish that he could see.
Hey, what's going on here?
Tom, you see. You do see.
What's the matter with you, Doc?
You can see.
Let me alone, will you? What are you trying to do? What are you after?
Can you see?
Oh, I can't see. Get the devil away from here. I can't see.
All right, Drogan. Come on. Yeah. What does it mean? Whatever you want to do that's good doesn't happen. But whatever you say that's evil happens. God help you, Drogan. Well, I know I give it Well, have a good sleep, friend Drogan?
Yeah. Why did I fall asleep?
The sedative I gave you. Oh. Drogan, I want you to meet my wife.
How do you do?
Well, it's a pleasure, Mrs. Krieger.
Yeah. Let me give you a hand.
No. I'm all right.
Yeah, of course. Drogan, I've told the entire story to my wife. She's clear-headed about this. I'll let her tell you what she thinks. Go ahead, Anne.
Mr. Drogan, Charles thinks you're a menace to humanity. I don't think so.
I think the danger to others is not through you, but through somebody else. You don't know what I mean. Well, that's understandable. I mean, you wouldn't willfully hurt anyone. But what if someone forced you to? What if your ability to perform miracles...
Evil miracles?
Yes, evil miracles, was discovered by some criminal. He would force you to do what he wanted, at no risk to himself, because since the criminal was performing an evil act, you couldn't hurt him.
In other words, Drogan, someone could use you for criminal purposes. Yes, blackmail the world because you thought you could kill anyone in the world.
You haven't said anything, Mr. Drogan. You do understand?
Yes, I understand. What do you expect me to do about it?
We don't expect you to do anything. The responsibility is beyond you or us. Whatever happens is up to the proper authorities.
Authorities? My wife means that what we must do is to tell the authorities of what happened.
It's a wonderful idea.
What did you say?
It's a wonderful idea.
Charles, I told you he'd understand.
Drogan, I'm proud of you.
Thank God it happened to a man like you instead of another little fascist who'd imagine himself a super Hitler.
A wonderful idea.
Yes, of course, but why do you keep on saying that?
You gave me a wonderful idea.
Thank you, but that's not important now. We've got to go to the authorities. All of us.
No.
Why should you say no?
I'm not going anywhere. Neither are you.
What?
Charles, why should he say...
Wait. What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm not going anyplace, or you.
What do you mean?
Sit down.
What the devil for?
Sit down.
No, I don't see what...
Doctor, I'll let you talk. Now let me. Well, in my own way, I figured out the world a long time ago. And that's why I was satisfied. Now, you see, it's like this. Some people are born with more than other people. One man has more brains, so he's an Einstein. Another fellow's born with good looks, so he's a movie star, like that Taylor fella. Another has muscles that work better, so he's a Joe Louis. Another one's got more energy, so he's an Edison. Most people are born with just enough brains and muscles to get along in a plain, ordinary life, like me. I knew that. So I was satisfied. Then this happened to me. All at once, all I've got to do is say something, and then it happens. Not good things, we found that out, but whatever I say that's wrong happens. I can do what anybody else in the world would like to do, we can't do. No Army or Navy or Air Force. I can say that somebody should die or that something should burn or break or fall, and it happens. You know, at first it was the same for me as for you, Doctor. I couldn't believe it was really so. Then while I was lying here, I heard you and your wife talking, and I began to figure things out. And then you both gave me the real idea. Dempsey and Joe Louis and Tunney and those fellas who had better muscles made themselves millions. So did Edison and Ford and Chrysler and the rest of them who had brains. Now, I had something. Why shouldn't I get paid off, too?
Paid off?
That's right.
How?
You said it before.
What?
I think you call it blackmail.
Charles.
The way you both look at me, you'd think I'd said something you hadn't said before yourself. Anybody that's any good to the world, I can kill. All right. People get paid off in this world for not letting other people starve, so I'll get paid off for not making people die.
That's a pretty bad joke.
Joke? No.
Of course you're joking.
No.
You don't mean that.
Sit down, Doctor. Doctor, I said for you to sit down.
Don't you order me around. Now stop this nonsense and...
Oh.
I brought you some tea, Mrs. Krager.
Yes, thank you, Frederick. Just put the tray
Wait
down.
a minute. Take that tray out of here. Go ahead. Take it out.
But I take orders only from Mrs. Krager.
Is that so? Well, why don't you die? He's dead, isn't he, Doctor?
Yes.
So you see, it isn't nonsense.
You devil, you.
Well, up to now, it's always been plain Sam.
I never thought that you...
That's just it. You should never underestimate a little man, now should you?
Charles, do you hear me call the police?
He hears you, but he won't do anything about it, will you?
Charles, don't just sit there. This man is a murderer. He killed Frederick.
Your wife is talking a little too much, isn't she?
Sit there, won't you please?
Doctor, do you hear me? I suggest you tell your wife to shut her mouth.
Charles!
Or maybe you'd like me to say something to her, the words I said about the servant. Suppose I said, Mrs. Prager, I wish...
Stop! Will you please do something about this?
Stop it. Stop. You hear me? Stop it. It'll be all right, dear. It'll be very fine.
Of course it will. As long as we're sensible about this. Now, then, what is my plan? Well, very simply this. You and your wife are going to help me get everything in the world that I want. Yes, everything. What I tell you to do, you will do. Letters. I will decide on 3 influential gentlemen in our government, 3 wealthy gentlemen in industry to whom you will send letters explaining about me. Well, they won't believe, but at the time I tell them to, they'll die, and the newspapers will know about it. And after that, everyone will believe me, now won't they? And so as not to die, everyone will do exactly as I want, won't they? Because they won't have any choice in the matter. They send soldiers against me. I'll wish that they'll be dead, and they will be dead. And soon from Washington to London to Moscow, everyone will be doing exactly what Sam Drogan wants them to do. And that'll be wonderful, won't it? All the good people of the world doing exactly what one little man wants them to do. Well, you haven't said anything, Doctor. You understand what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes. It was inevitable.
Of course, I won't want you and your wife to leave here. Now then, we'd better have this man's body removed, and then we'd better get to work. Or have you any suggestions?
Do you mind if I have a drink?
Drink? Not at all. Not at all. A drink started all this, didn't it? Go right ahead, Doctor.
Thank you.
And you, Mrs. Krager, you're quite all right now, aren't you? Yes, I'm sure you are, the way you sit there looking at me. You and your husband will do exactly as I say, because you're both good people, and I'm deaf to good people, and you know that now, don't you?
Yes, I'm sure my wife knows that. Your drink.
Oh, yes. Oh, and quite a full one. Thank you, Doctor. I drink to your continued good health. Well, a strong one and a good one. Thank you, Doctor. What? Drink? Oh, my throat, you what? No, wouldn't dare. I'll kill.
Charles, what did you...
Kill.
Charles, he's going to...
Wait.
You both
Charles, you killed...
Yes. Poison worked more slowly than it should have, but it worked. Drogan, you made one mistake. You should never underestimate what good people can do. If they have to.
Mr. Obler. Mr. Obler.
I know how you feel, but in these times of stress and strain, the tensions of life do pile up for all of us. And once in a while, it's a welcome let up to think of miracles and miracle men. A miracle man who can solve all things with a wish and a wave of the hand. Of course, we know now that miracles actually do happen, with work and with the will of a fighting people. Which brings us to next week. I'll tell you about that after you've had your say.
I just want to clear up a point for our listeners. Friends, we've told you about ironized yeast. We've told you, too, how thousands who only needed more vitamin B and iron today thank ironized yeast tablets for helping them gain glorious new strength and pep, and 5, 10, even more pounds of good new flesh. But did you know that you can try ironized yeast tablets on a no-risk, money-back basis? Yes, if you don't quickly begin to eat better, sleep better, feel your old-time, peppy, happy self again. In short, if you're not 100% pleased with the results, the cost of the first bottle will be refunded to you in full by ironized yeast, Box IY, Rahway, New Jersey. So, if you need more vitamin B and iron, get the one and only ironized yeast tablets right away, tonight. And next week,
Well, next week, very simply, I like stories of escape. I always have. My typewriter likes them. My shorthand likes them. My dictaphone likes them. I think other people feel the way I do. In childhood, we like to read of escape from galloping Indians, and as we grow older, escape from pursuing love. And we grow older than that, other more subtle escapes. Well, by this time, you ought to know that next week's story is one of escape. Its title is Until Dead, and I've promised myself and you a suspenseful and amazing half hour, but as usual, that's next week.
Yes, tune in next Tuesday again for Arch Obler's eerie story, Until Dead. And if you need more vitamin B and iron, be sure to try ironized yeast, the one and only ironized yeast, with the big letters IY on the package and on each tablet. It is later than you think.
There are plenty of men around who will tell you the nicest thing next to their face in the morning is Mole Brushless Shaving Cream. Well, that's the sign of a smooth, comfortable shave ahead. Mole, you see, is the shaving cream that helps guard your face against painful nicks and cuts by forming a protective film between your skin and your razor. You get a close shave and a mighty comfortable one, too. So get Mole, M-O-L-L-E, and be on the receiving end of a swell shave every morning yourself.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.